One last time on Black Friday, we'll fire up the broadcast for one more game. It's game number 7, the final game from day 1 of the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic from Corinth High School in Corinth, Mississippi. It is the home of the Warriors, but you will not see the Warriors in action in this one. In fact, you're going to see two teams that both came over 4 hours to be here. The Madison Prep Chargers, a 6.5-hour bus ride to get here. They are 2-0 on the year. They are 2 years removed from a state championship in the state of Louisiana. And if you know anything about New Orleans basketball and Louisiana basketball, a state championship is a very big deal. On the home side, if you will, the boys from Jackson, Mississippi, the Callaway Chargers, are the 3-time defending 5A champs. They are 4-1 on the year. Their only loss is to Velma Jackson, who played today at 3:30. All eyes are going to be on number 14 for the Callaway Chargers. That is Malik Newman. He is a 6'4", score-first point guard. He can also play shooting guard. He is considered by ESPN as the 3rd best player in the class of 2015. He is a score-first guy, but he can also dish. He is shooting 40% from downtown on the year, 45% from the field, and is averaging 26 points per game. But a star player is not effective without an accompaniment behind him, a supporting cast. He has two guys that will really make a difference. Wesley Harris is a tremendous shot blocker at 6'8" and can jump out of the gym. Cardo Day is averaging 10 points and 7 assists a game. 7 assists for a high school player is a very good number. On the Madison Prep side, keep your eye on Sampson. He is in range when he steps off the bus, meaning he can shoot from anywhere. Brandon Sampson has been known to pull from 2 or 3 steps inside of half court. Tonight, probably if he's feeling it, you will. He is considered as the 38th best player in the class of 2015. He is a 4-star recruit on Rivals.com and is most likely considering LSU, but UCLA, Cal, Baylor, and Vandy are all in the mix. Malik Newman, on the other hand, well, the University of Kentucky is considered to be his lead choice, and we have coaches in the building. This will be fun. The tip is going to be controlled by the Madison Prep Chargers. They will move right to left in bright yellow uniforms. They almost look like the Denver Nugget uniforms, if you're familiar with those. And here we go. Handing the point is Christian Thompson. This is Uric Lazard, somebody the coaching staff has called to step up for them, and he didn't on that play. Loses control, turnover, and here comes Callaway. In the lane, floater, that's Malik Newman. It took him no time to get on the board. He's got 2. We've only played 30 seconds. Coming back the other way. Point guard for Madison Prep is not on my roster. We will fix that momentarily. And he's on the board right away. Of course he is. We'll get his name here in just a little bit. That is number 4 for Madison Prep. We'll try to get somebody on that. In the meantime, he will be number 4 in my book. Malik Newman dishes a 15-footer from the free throw line. Demencio Vaughn, he's got 2. That's his first bucket. And the Chargers are on top, 4-2. And if you're wondering, Chargers, well, that would be both teams. So we're going to say Madison Prep trails Callaway by 2. Chargers and Chargers. 1 from Baton Rouge and 1 from Jackson, Mississippi. A pull-up, just an unconscious Brandon Sampson, wasn't even thinking about it. I think I called that earlier when I said when he steps off the bus, he's in range. Well, he just stopped and popped with a hand in his face and knocked that one down. Sampson has 3, his first basket. They've given him a 2 on the scoreboard. We'll have to clarify that. And Malik Newman with the reverse layup in the lane. He now has 4. And we have a 30-second timeout. I'm sorry, an official's timeout. We had some trash make its way to the court. And you look around this gym, it's almost packed to the brim. Very few seats available, only a handful. And video cameras, lots of phones out, lots of video cameras out. They know that Malik Newman may very well be an NBA star one day, and they want a glimpse of him. A lot of these players could make it to the NBA. Malik Newman is the most likely candidate at this point, though. Power move on the inside from Lazard. That hook shot falls short, no good. Newman in transition, behind the back dribble. Good look on the inside. He had 2 teammates down there. And a Madison Prep player got his hands in there and forced a jump ball. Nicholson inbounds, gets it on the wing. A putback is Nicholson. He inbounded the ball, got in the play, and got a putback for 2. Look at Sampson just pull up with 2 hands in his face that time. I believe that's off-white. It'll be Madison Prep basketball. That's Demarius Antoine inbounding that one. He's kind of lobbed it up for his teammate. In the back, it was deflected out of bounds. We'll get the name of number 4 eventually. Might take the first break before we can get over to the scores table and figure that out. Sampson, though, going to work, draws the double team, kicks it in the corner. Wide open 3 is nothing but nylon for Christian Thompson. His first basket. Into the front court. Newman is trapped. Gets rid of it. In transition. Down the lane. Hard. That is Demencio Vaughn. He'll go to the line for a chance to get his 3rd and 4th points. Very, very competitive. The first is through there and good for Vaughn. And the second is the same. He's got 4. Callaway on top, 10-7. They're in the white uniforms and are the home team on the scoreboard. Dribbling into the lane, out of control, had it slapped away. That's Uric Lazard. Something we've got to mention here, Lazard has been called to really step up by the coaching staff, but here's why. Madison Prep is missing 7 football players. They're about to take off the pads and switch to the basketball uniform, and the coaching staff is giddy about the presence they will bring. Malik Newman from way downtown left that one short. Run out. We might see a little jam from Sampson instead. He finger rolls it and lays it in. Everybody is upset in the crowd that he didn't dunk that, but that would have been a tough one to pull off. Quickly the other way. Boy, don't blink. You're going to miss a play here. Demencio Vaughn in the lane. He'll go to the line for 2 more. He made his last 2.
I haven't seen a game really yet today to where it's really taken both teams a long time to get going. And you're hard-pressed to find that type of stat or that type of claim at any event. You know, really, it just takes time to get everything loose, but teams just seem to be instant offense, man.
And like I mentioned earlier, that's a 6 and 4 hour bus ride for these 2 teams. They come in here on a cold night, warm up very quickly. I think they had 8 minutes on the clock to warm up. They warmed up very quickly, and, I mean, they're ready. They're just get out and go. Deep 3 from top of the key. Just stared it down and knocked it down. That's Demarius Antoine. His first bucket of the game is a 3. And we're all square at 12. Newman, kick out. 3 on the way for Vaughn, in and out. How did that not stay down? I'm not real sure. In transition, Sampson climbs the ladder, tries to go reverse. Comes up short. Newman back the other way. Look out, here they come. Good pass on the inside. rejection on the inside as well. Cleaning it up and putting it in is Damian Moore, his first basket. 4 different players have scored for the Chargers.
And you can see, Malik Newman obviously with the tools, but also an unselfish guy as well, getting other guys involved.
Good, strong take to the hole by the unnamed Madison Prep player. Newman now into the front court. And I'm not sure if timeout was called. I think he asked for a foul. But no, he is going to take the time. That's a 30-second timeout for Callaway. I didn't hear him say timeout at all.
Yeah, I think Coach Sanders was just being a good sport there. Also thinks maybe that'll build him a little rapport for a call down the road.
He said okay.
He was just saying foul. They're riding my guy Malik Newman up and down the court. But hey, I'll take a timeout on the way.
Now, I'll go ahead and take one, just to save you the embarrassment of having to reverse that. Gives us a second, though, real quick. Let's thank a couple of our sponsors real fast. This event does not happen without folks like our Powerade. And they're going to be sponsoring our instant replays on today's action. We'll get you more sponsors here in just a little bit, as they don't even take timeouts long in this game. Malik Newman's ready to go. He has the ball up top, guarded closely by number 4. Pounding the right-hand dribble. 2:45 to play in the fourth quarter. Callaway on top, 14-12. It's a Mississippi versus Louisiana battle. Both have state championships in their history. Callaway, most notably, with the 3-time defending champ. Newman, jab step in the lane, floating. And I thought the defender was straight up and down. We'll see. They are going to call the blocking foul on Uric Lazard. Now they're going to get somebody on the reach. Might have been Jeff Jones Jr. Reach. Lazard will come out. Checking in for him is Kobe Julian. Newman knocks down both free throws very calmly. He's got 6. 2.5 to play in the first. 16-12. The Chargers of Callaway on top. In the lane. Fancy move there. All for naught. We're going to swing it around the outside. Checking into the game in true Kobe fashion. Kobe Julian at the bench, into the game, pulls for 3 and cans it. Newman back the other way. What touch off the glass. 2 Madison Prep players fall down. Newman gets the basket.
Big play by big play.
That's right. Kobe Julian hits the 3. Now Newman with the steal, with the left hand. Might have gotten away with a shove off. He initiated the contact, but he's going to get a foul, blocking foul. Some coaches or refs will call that a ride instead of a block. It's basically where a defender just runs hip and hip with a ball handler. Now we get a chance to thank some of our sponsors. Quick replay, you'll see why the Scouts love Malik Newman so much. Penetrates with the right hand. Doesn't matter if defenders are in the way or not. He's got the touch to get it over there. Those instant replays sponsored by Powerade, one of our sponsors of this event. Also want to thank the Hampton Inn. Physicians Urgent Care, located right here in Corinth, Mississippi, as well as Crossover Basketball. Check these, that's Crossover with a K. Check these sponsors out. Do us a favor, do them a favor, and do that. Thank them for hosting this wonderful event. Callaway running an offensive set now. It's in the hands of Malik Newman. Chris Cross, as he's got the ball on a string. Correction, that was Vaughn dribbling. He hands it to Newman, who just squares up and knocks that down. Malik Newman, three more.
That's what you call ice cream right there, fellas.
Woo. I mean, doesn't have to, he doesn't need a blink to get that shot off. Ooh, cross from Sampson. Oh, in and out. Crowd was ready to erupt on that move, and there's a block by Vaughn, but there's going to be a foul, a shot against Callaway. It was underneath. The block was top, but underneath, Wesley Harris fouled with the body.
I think games like this always help because, if you're an individual on your game, I think it helps you to be able to see players and teams that play at a certain level. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize the requisite work that went into them being able to play at the level or the caliber that you see them playing at. So I think it's really always a good measuring stick for maybe some of the things you're doing individually and as a team, because at the end of the day, this level of play, it wasn't hand-given to anybody.
Christian Thompson calmly knocks down the first. Too strong on the second by Markel Gladney. Gladney sets up the offense for the Chargers. On the interior, here's Vaughn. Nice little fadeaway. Demencio Vaughn, he's got 7. Make it 8. 4 free throws and 2 field goals. Sampson, he's the most highly touted recruit for Madison Prep, and he's feeling pressure, turns it over. Newman in transition, draws all kinds of contact. They're going to call that floor. And if you know anything about the way officiating is called on the high school level, college, and pro, in high school, that's the right call. That is not an and one. In college and in the pros, that is an and one. He probably could have taken a couple more steps and gotten and one. And now we're calling timeout here. Callaway is burning a timeout, and the head coach for Callaway is David Sanders, and he letting the refs hear about the lack of and one call there. He wanted continuation. Newman gets his feet set, and then you can pretty much go ahead and start writing that one in the books. Like I said, he shoots 40% from downtown, 45% from the field. That is efficiency at its finest. Field goal percentage in basketball, anything over 30, 35 is good from downtown, real good from downtown. Like I said, Malik shooting 40% and averaging 26 points a game so far in this season. Callaway is just 4-1 though. They did get beat by Velma Jackson, who was in action earlier today. On the inside, there's Demencio Vaughn. Give him 2 more. He and Newman are leading this team. Good, strong move off the glass, no good. Cleared off one-handed by Vaughn. Here's Newman from half court at the buzzer. Wide right, 25-16 is your score. Callaway on top of Madison Prep. We will take a break. You're watching the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic from Corinth High School. More action coming your way. This broadcast is powered by SUV TV. The Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic continues right here on SUVTV.com, the SUVTV.com. Madison Prep and Callaway going at it. Madison Prep had a player that we did not have on the roster. We'll tell you about him. That is number 4, Joshua Anderson. He was in our program as 35. He is actually number 4, and he is a 6'4" sophomore guard with great range and incredible ball handling. He may be the next big prospect to come out of Madison Prep, and they've had some great ones in their history. But the fact that he is just a sophomore makes him very impressive to watch.
When you're a 6'4" guard with his game, who cares if the commentator has the right number for you in his notes? That minute detail can be taken care of.
You will make a name for yourself whether we know your number or not. Malik Newman, ball handling, pulling up, back iron, no good. And here is Anderson, right on cue, in transition. That is a sophomore guard slamming that through. And when I was a sophomore, I was not capable of doing anything of the sorts.
I was doing that on a daily basis back at that age, but it was on my video game console.
Yeah, NBA 2K, you were the star. So this is a prep team that is loaded. They are not very old. They only have 2 seniors on their entire roster. One of them is Sampson. But they will be a force to be reckoned with this year and the next. Sampson from the wing, way too strong. He kind of hurried that one. It's a quicker release even for him. Here's Newman in the front court. Strong skip pass, baseline drive, floater, nice touch. Marcus Somerville, his first 2 of the game. What a luxury to have weapons like that. Marcus Somerville hasn't scored yet, comes in. Baseline drive, floater over the D for 2.
You know, we've got plenty of headliners in this event, but sometimes people lose sight of the fact that the guys around them are so strong. You let off the webcast talking about how, you know, these teams are good teams from top to bottom. They're definitely not one-trick ponies as far as their headliners are concerned. But the good players like a Newman, like a Sampson, they do realize that they can help create exposure for the players that they play with. Winning provides the best exposure in these type of events.
And think about all the pros that have come from mid-major colleges. That players end up is on the mid-major level. Your schools like Murray State University. I'm a little biased towards. Troy University comes to mind. Wichita State is like the super mid-major. Gonzaga would be in that field. You know, these are, you know, those aren't Kentucky, Kansas, UCLA, Duke, any of that.
Yeah, decent shooter named Steph Curry went to Davidson.
Right, exactly. Malik Newman comes up short on that attempt, gets it back, lobs it on the inside, and an easy 2 for Vaughn. Demencio Vaughn has 2 more. He's filling up his stat sheet. Callaway leads by 11. They've been in control really from the opening tip, despite a very talented Madison Prep team showing flashes of brilliance. Here's Anderson in the lane, kicks it out. Sampson sets his feet, left it short. Good, strong rebound and put back on the way. Nifty little shot there. Had to sneak that in. Kobe Julian has 5.
It's good work right there. If you're Madison Prep, you really don't want to, have Callaway sneak away. You know, the game we were at earlier between Haywood and I believe it was
Velma
Jackson. You know, 2 high-caliber teams, and before we knew it, Velma Jackson was up by 20, and I think Callaway definitely has that kind of potential. So if you're Madison Prep, no panic button, but you want to make sure you have a good stretch here over the course of the next 2 minutes.
Markel Gladney called for the charge. A big collision under the rim there. Heard the bodies hit the floor. Anderson, step back. Boy, was that pretty. Goodness. He may be one of the more impressive sophomores I've ever seen. I've broadcasted quite a few of these high school tournaments like this, and Anderson is something else. Battle for the loose ball underneath. Who wants it more? Callaway's going to come out with it. 4 or 5 shot attempts. Malik Newman gets some love from his teammates because he's working hard. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2, where he's almost automatic.
We've just seen so many aspects of Newman's game so far in this one. You can easily see the USA basketball accolades and the different things that precede him before he even steps into a facility. We've seen the good teammate. We've seen him get others involved. Obviously, we've seen the shot from. We've also seen his commitment on the defensive end as well.
One thing you don't realize about Newman until you watch him play, you kind of see it on film, but Newman has an ability to lift with his shots. None of his jump shots are flat. He's elevated in every one. Anderson is fouled on the three-point attempt. That was Wesley Harris trying to close out. And Anderson's going to go to the line for 3.
Prime example, how many people were saying, Madison Prep versus Callaway, I got to get there and see Joshua Anderson.
Right.
Even though you knew he was a good ball player, you hear a lot of talk of Sampson, Newman. But, here it is. The ball has tipped, and here you got Josh Anderson doing his best to make sure Madison Prep doesn't let Callaway inch ahead too far.
7 points, an impressive 7 points. At the line for 2 more. He's 2 for 2 there. We've been showing love to the kicks today. Each team's, bringing in their own kicks, and you've got 2 sherbet-flavored kicks in this game. You got the light orange on the Callaway roster, and then you have that real soft yellow for the Chargers. It's kind of a new thing to have the soft color instead of the bright neon color that was hip for a while.
Yeah, we've seen some nice shoe games throughout this entire day. Playing good is most important, but looking good is not a bad thing
either. It doesn't hurt, not at all. Helps the broadcast out. Good clear off the board there by Anderson. Boy, his arms, he's got a wingspan. It is, his frame, just looking at his frame alone, and as he knocks in that one just for fun. I'm trying to think who he reminds me of. Obviously, when you think long arms, you think of Durant, just the way he's built, but he's not near that tall. Durant pushes 7 foot. He's 6'10", 6'11", which is scary. Anderson's got those long arms, but he's on a 6'4" frame right now. It's an interesting build. Sampson just pulls from the top of the key, in and out, no good. Sampson kind of struggling from the field early going. Newman splits defenders, regains control, stops and pops. No good on that from the baseline. Rebound, wow, Sampson punishes that one out beyond the 3-point arc. Shot up on the inside, Sampson tried to get another one. Battling in there is Somerville. He only stands 6'2". He's among the trees and working hard.
Neither one of these teams can afford to give the other multiple offensive rebounds in a possession like that. Too many weapons across the board.
Somerville at the line. Both teams very good free throw shooting. We saw early on in the day, we saw some woeful free throw shooting from Alcorn Central, Middleton, Kossuth, and Mount Pleasant. But as the day's gone on, the free throw shooting has gotten better. And as I say that, in and out. I don't
think we've had a broadcaster jinx all day, so that was
the first one. Yeah, we were due for that. That's a good point. Christian Thompson running the point. He's been quiet, only 4 points for him so far. This guy has not been quiet. Anderson hard to the hole, leaves it short. Battle for the loose ball, knocked out of bounds. I believe it stays here. No, it does not. Callaway basketball, 3.5 to play in the first half. Game number 7. We remind you there's 14 games in this classic. That means there's 7 more tomorrow. We'll fire it up and do it all again right here on the SUVTV.com. Newman into the front court. Here's Vaughn. Stop and pop from the baseline, no good. Put back up, no good. Battle for the loose ball. We're going to get an over-the-back call. That's a correct call. Kasim Nicholson.
Callaway has definitely slowed down a little bit. We'll see if Madison Prep is able to use this to not only make sure the lead doesn't grow, but possibly cut into it a little bit with 3:15 left here in the first. You got to look at Sampson. His shot, hasn't been able to really connect as much as he'd like to from the outside, but those shots have been in and out, and he hasn't been fazed by the misses at all. He's a shooter. So you got to think more than likely than not, those shots are going to start falling for him.
Made his first shot of the game from the corner down here to our left, and I thought we were in for a big day for him, and we still may be. The first half winding to a close, and he now has 7. Newman into the front court. Gladney with the ball. Gladney crossing over. Nice jump stop by Newman. My goodness, an up and under. Crafty move in the lane. Newman is a slasher too. Don't think that he's just a shooter. The reason why he's the number 3 player in the class is because he's not just a shooter, not just a defender, not just a slasher. He's all 3. A very good athlete. We're going to get a block only because that was a flop. Anderson in the lane barely contacted Markel Gladney. And Gladney falls to the ground and gets the block. That's almost like punishment there.
Sophomores made a nice amount of trips to the free throw line here in the first half. Got to be able to knock them down.
Too strong on the first there. Joshua Anderson. Leggings and all. Got it. He now has 10. He's in double digits. 2.5 to play in the second quarter. Callaway's on top, 34-28. It's been about a 5 or 6 point advantage for Callaway for a while now. A good drive and dish. Gladney forcing the issue. And the drop-off was to Jamal Bolden. He goes to the line. Fouled shooting the close range shot underneath the goal. Shot it from the block. It's a good place to live when you have slashers. The slashers will draw the defense and they can drop it off to you for easy baskets, but when you have teams like this, like Madison Prep, they close out so well. It's hard to get easy baskets even on the block.
Totally secondary point here, but with 2:25 left in the second quarter, we haven't mentioned the fact that both of these Chargers mascots.
Yeah, no, I mentioned that earlier, right when we were getting going. When I realized it, I said the Chargers leading 2-2. It was like 3-2, and it caught me off guard. I realized it then, not when I did doing the homework last night. It didn't hit me then. It hit me on the first couple of possessions here today. A team from Baton Rouge and a team from Jackson, Mississippi, both the Chargers. Newman, boy, that was a difficult shot. Degree of difficulty very high there from Malik Newman, but he was unfazed by that, and the rim was not touched. Strong the other way. That's good for 2. Christian Thompson, he's got 6. Here's Newman into the front court. You know he's feeling it now after that last J. Here he is. Crossover, throws a lob that I'm not sure if LeBron would have hauled in. Actually, LeBron might have gotten to that one.
I was about to say.
Well, wait a second. LeBron might have got that. But Damian Moore, all 6'10" of him, getting to that one.
And again, Malik Newman's no stranger to Quindari Witherspoon, the Velma Jackson that we saw earlier, but those guys are the same cloth as far as you can play great defense, even play, and it just not matter.
Not going to phase these two. Not on this level anyway. He'll run into some defenders on the next level that might be a little tougher, but. And there is a great take in the lane. That was Jamal Bolden standing strong in there. That's not an easy thing to do when you have a guy leave his feet and you're planted just to stay there. And Bolden did, took the charge, and we'll go the other way. And Gladney's going to be called for the carry in the backcourt. And I'm not sure if this is Markel Gladney. He's one of the players I was told that did not make the trip. And he's listed at 5'8" in the program, and that young man looks like he's about 6'3". So we're going to on that one here in a second as well. Sampson, an interesting floater in the lane. Not sure if that's how you're taught to shoot the ball, but he short arms that one in, and it's a 6-point game. Despite Newman showing out, it's a 6-point game. Gladney the other way for 2, or we're going to call him Gladney for now. He may be by another name here in a second. Sampson in the front court, gives it up, Good ball movement results in the easy two. Uric Lazar drops in his first bucket. 40-34 is your score. Newman right in front of us is going to be forced out of bounds. It's going to be a blocking foul. That'll go against Christian Thompson.
Madison Prep not having as free flowing of a first half as they might have wanted to have, but the glass definitely half full. Sampson is really just getting going, and here they are in more than striking distance.
Newman, nylon both of his free throws. 20 seconds to play now. Big possession here for Madison Prep. In the lane, good move by Uric Lazar, the up and under. Coaches have high hopes for him to blossom into a big player for them in this game. How about Malik Newman? That's a really tough shot. Under direct, seconds to play. Enough time for a shot. Pull up at the buzzer. Too strong. Marquise Browder trying to drop one in at the buzzer. It's 42-36, a very competitive, fun to watch first half. Malik Newman leading all scores. We'll tell you about his first half here in a little bit. You see Newman in the lane doing both the slashing and the scoring. An up and under move, up and under two elevated defenders on that play.
Use that jab step to set that play up real nicely. You twirl inside, but the jab step set it all up.
We've got 9.5 minutes on the break clock. We will come back a little before then and tell you some stats from the first half and set the stage for the second. It's the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic, brought to you on the SUVTV.com.
Crossover intelligence for basketball can save you hours of time. We break down game film for you and act as your video coordinator by giving you searchable clips, advanced statistics, shot charts, and a lot of other great info that you can access from any PC or through our iPad application. Just upload your video through the Crossover website, and 24 hours later, your film will be completely indexed and tagged. Each play will become its own video clip, allowing you to search the footage for anything you'd like. Here we'll take a look at all 3-pointers that were made in the fourth quarter. All of your offensive and defensive sets can also be tagged, so you can view the appropriate clips and determine which plays are achieving the best results. You can add any clip to a playlist or highlight reel and share everything with your players or assistant coaches. Crossover will also provide you with all of the numbers from each game, including complete player stats for both teams and advanced metrics like these. We even take the shooting numbers a step further. Interactive shot chart that lets you visualize the data. Filter by player, quarter, makes or misses, and click on watch the corresponding video. Crossover intelligence will keep you from spending hours in the film room and get you back to actually coaching. Together, we can turn smarter video into more wins for your team. That's the Crossover effect.
One more half to play before we put a bow on day number 1 of the Thanksgiving Classic, the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic, right here at Corinth High School in Corinth, Mississippi. This has been a fun day number 1, but there's still more fun to be had. And his Callaway Chargers lead the Madison Prep Chargers. Now make it 8 on that impressive putback there. That was Damian Moore, his 3rd and 4th points of this contest. On the left wing, Madison Prep going to work. 3-ball on the way. That's a big shot off back iron, no good. Cleared off by Newman. He wants to run into the front court. No look pass. A block from behind. Regains possession, puts it up and in. That was batted around a couple times before Demencio Vaughn puts in his 14th point.
I think you should, if you're Madison Prep, you really want to make sure you get off to a good start this half. Obviously, that's Captain Obvious, but I think when you look at Callaway, they had more momentum going there in the first half. They just didn't really pull away, but they, they were at least cooking with grease to start with. Madison Prep has really been in and out, so you definitely don't want to let Callaway and Newman get off to too good of a start here in the second half.
But Sampson has had a struggle today. He has turned the ball over several times, his shot a little off. He does have 9 points, but you saw him slip there. It's been that kind of day for him. Into the lane, a left-handed, kind of an unorthodox push floater there for Wesley Harris, and it's his first bucket. Assist to Malik Newman. He passed out of the trap. 48-36. It's quickly a 12-point advantage from 6 to 12 to start the second half for Callaway. The complete opposite of what you want if you're Madison Prep. Here's Uric Lazard going to work. Left hand. No good. Off the back iron, a little strong. Malik Newman quickly the other way. Into the lane, wanted to step back. He's trapped. Finds Vaughn for 3, and he got it. They are trapping Malik Newman, but it is not working. That's back-to-back assists for him. Vaughn was 17 now. Malik saying that he's more than capable as a passer.
Yeah, really, you just see him. It's the difference between being trapped and being in distress and then just drawing the defense to really set things up, and that's what we're seeing Newman do.
Sampson elevates, leaves it short. Newman in transition. Back to Vaughn. Look out! Left hand right down the middle. Newman to Vaughn again. Full head of Demencio puts that one in for 2 more. Loose ball, scramble, and a timeout. Callaway, Madison Prep struggling here to start the second half. They started the second half down 6. Now they're down 17 in the blink of an eye.
I can appreciate not only Wesley Harris's defense there and then the hustle to get on the floor, but then the savvy to feel like he was disappointed in himself because he wasted a timeout unnecessarily. And the coach didn't even get on him about it because at the end of the day it was good hustle. He had the possession for him, but he was more upset with himself at the fact that he had used that timeout unnecessarily. So, head in the game, not just diving on the floor and that's it, but really kind of keeping the game in mind as it goes on.
It's the kind of player your team. You want that as a teammate, the guy that's just he's got the motor. Going one-on-one now with Marquise Browder. It's a tough matchup for Browder. He gives up a few inches.
Speaking of motor, Madison Prep leaking a little transmission fluid right now. They got to watch it.
And Demencio Vaughn is trying to blow the car up. That's what he's trying to do. That's a 3 from the corner. He has 10 in the second half, and it just started. He came out hot, ready to go in the second. Joshua Anderson, left hand. That kid is some kind of smooth, and he is of prospect. Only a sophomore, and he's poured in 12. There's a putback for Kasim Nicholson, his 4th point.
You like Anderson's contribution for Madison Prep, but you got to get Sampson going, whether that means more touches or just more opportunities. Because you see him lose that ball out of bounds there, but that's the first time we've really seen him try to, make a move or, create his own offense here. And that can't be the case since things have only gotten worse. Anderson will still be there, and really he'll benefit even more from Sampson getting going. I think they get a chance to really reignite himself.
I think also coaching staff can help this too. Sampson, run him off some picks and get him a catch-and-shoot opportunity. Newman too strong in the lane. It looked good from this angle. Clearing out as knocks Newman to the ground. Newman smiles. Anderson thought about the three, and he walked.
Newman was just trying to see if he could get a cheap foul on the big fella there.
He fell down in a heap, but got back up just as fast, so we know that been some acting involved there. Newman penetrates. Vaughn just set and ready to go. One-handed rebound knocked out of his hands, off his foot. In there battling, that's Javius Bardney, 6'4" big man. Madison Prep basketball. Prep out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Lazard lost control. Can't be sloppy with the ball in the post. We need to remember Madison Prep's 2-0, but they still are missing 7 football players that are gearing up for a run at the state championship in Louisiana. Out of control there. We got Newman. It's a one-on-one. Pulled it back and threw it through. Malik Newman, a strong finish there. Give him 22 now. Three ball the other way. Back iron no good. Batted around. I'm pretty sure that's off Prep, and it is. They're leaking mission fluid right now as Malik Newman kind of putting on a show in transition. It was a one-on-one opportunity. He ducks under the block attempt and slams.
I'll teach you how to stunt. Mr. Malik Newman having a great night here for everybody that came out here to see him.
Crossing into the front court. This is DeCardo Day. It is not Marnie. Newman. Wow, that was not what you would call a good choice. Newman was down in a three-point stance when he decided he wanted to shoot that. Elevated, got squared, and still canned it from deep. Penetrate and kick. Callaway's just trying to move the ball around. Three ball on the way, left iron no good. Long rebound. This is Kobe Julian in the game. Kick out corner, wide open look, and the three goes down. Get who that was here in just a second. That's Marquise Browder, his first points. Anderson goes up strong, gets the bucket, and the foul, draws the foul, the blocking foul. And Marcus Somerville. Anderson, give him 2 more.
Anderson, he's really been a bright spot for Madison Prep. Sampson not having the game that he normally has, and I think the fact that he's sitting right now with them, expanding the lead, I think that tells you coaches wants to get him out of the game for a second, maybe let him reset, because they're going to need him if they're going to chip away at this deficit. But Anderson definitely a bright spot for Coach Jones.
Yeah, you don't see a scenario where Prep climbs back into this without Sampson getting hot.
Yeah,
he's just too much of a scorer for him not to be a factor. Newman, defender all over him. Newman's going to try to shrug that off. He got trapped and got rid of it. Here's Vaughn in the lane. He's been a big scorer. And we've got a charging call underneath the basket. That referee had the better angle, so he goes with charge, even though the ref said block. And head coach for Callaway upset about that call. David Sanders giving the refs the business on that.
Coach is in a position where he can have a little bit of humor, with the refs, with his team in the driver's seat.
Up by 20 with 1:15 to play in the third. Here's Newman. Front court. Penetrate. A dump down pass. Defender all over. He's fouled. Gets the basket. Wesley Harris Strong on the assist from Newman. He saw the mismatch and dumped it to him. Newman is a heady player, makes great decisions. Wesley Harris converts the free throw. He's got 5. Anderson had it slapped away, but I heard the skin from here. That'll be a reach-in foul.
It's always funny, the crowd wants what they want. That everybody heard that smack, including those working at the concession stand outside, but yet there was a oohs and ahs when the call was made.
They just wanted to disagree just for the heck of it.
Fans like what they like.
Prep's got to get the ball inbound. It's a 4-second count. Didn't get to 5. Working up top, Demarius Antoine. Anderson tried the step back, good defense. Delvin Span, good defense by Callaway here. No open gaps. Anderson, wow, just catch and fling it from NBA range, and that kid can score. He's got Newman in the lane. Look out! A finger roll after taking the elevator to the top floor, and we got an and one the other way. As impressive as that was by Newman, almost more impressive is 2 seconds later as time's winding down. Newman scored with 5 seconds on the clock. With 2.9 on the clock, Madison Prep has already scored again. That's Delvin Span with his first 2 points. Spawn. He'll go to the line. A chance at the 3. He converts that. 3 seconds left. Callaway would try to draw something up to get 1 shot in 3 seconds. It's just going to be a heave from the other end of the floor. Not in time. And no good. That was Ricardo Day a little late on that release. Couple things to take note of. Josh Anderson in transition gets the and one. He's trying to keep Madison Prep in it, but if you look the other way, Malik Newman going hard to the hole. This Gatorade's brought to you by Powerade. We appreciate their sponsorship of this event. And it's not the finish at the rim from Malik. That was the three-point stance just to elevate it. Three-pointer, a decision I questioned as that ball was in the air, but as it fell through like a feather, you realize Newman knew what he was doing all along.
Yeah, Malik Newman tells us, hey, man, I appreciate the commentary, fellas, but there's a reason they're here to see me, man.
Why don't you let me handle this, fellas? Right. He has 27 points on the season. He's averaging 26 a game, so he has taken care of that average. Right off the bat, all points now, just going to raise that average. They're going to lob. Got a one-on-one matchup here. It out. Deep three on the way. Way too strong. Vaughn's going to clear it. Puts it up and in. Callaway just too much in all facets of the game. Big collision. Blocking foul. Go to the line for 2.
I look for Sampson to be very aggressive here in this fourth quarter. Mathematically impossible for those guys to come back, even though that, I'm not sure if that is. But at the end of the day, there's that piece in you to where you're going to go down firing and make sure your presence is felt in the meantime. And I think Sampson is definitely in that mode after on the bench, kind of seeing the game from that perspective. I'm sure he's going to be ready to come out firing.
Sampson converts on both. Those are his first 2 points of the second half, and here we are in a scoreless third for Sampson, and a 19-point advantage for the Callaway Chargers over the Madison Prep Chargers. A Mississippi and Louisiana battle. Off his foot. That was Ricardo Day. I can try again. They're using one of the new Wilson balls that's got grips all around the basketball. I'm not a fan. I like the traditional seams. Malik Newman steps back, leaves it short, chases it down, it into Vaughn. Vaughn tries to penetrate. He's armbarred by Kobe Jr. for reach. Ricardo Day wanted the lob at the rim. Newman passed. Newman in the lane. Nice little move. That was a move right there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching at home, that penetrate in the lane, field the bigger defender, step back, fade, and drop it. That is an NBA-style move. Sampson in get a bucket to fall. Back the other way. Ricardo Day for two. Ricardo Day, just a junior. Lots of juniors on this Callaway team. They look poised to go 2 more times on this championship run. They are the 3-time champ. May make it 4 and 5 after they have. Meanwhile, Josh Anderson gets buckets. Another 3 for him. Newman into the front court, crossover, lost it. One of the few turnovers Newman's had today. That might be his first, actually. It's been an almost flawless game for Newman. Christian Thompson into the front court, draw on Newman.
Not sure Newman has gotten a breather, showing his conditioning as well.
That's right. Setting up the offense, Demarius Antoine. Here's Sampson. You know he's looking to score. He's been quiet this game. Sampson going left, losing control. Great defense by the Callaway Chargers out of at Madison Prep. But, you know, some of it Sampson's not having his best night. Some of it's incredible defense. Chargers, they are blanketing him.
I agree, and it's easy to be armchair coach. You know, you can't second guess the coaches. They're the ones in the situation doing what they're doing, but you would like to see more activity, like you mentioned, with run him off of a couple screens, make it to where he doesn't have to create everything solely off of his dribble. You know, the Chargers are just, as you mentioned, we can't just say Chargers with both teams being Chargers, but the Chargers of Callaway in this position, they're free flowing. They're just pinning their ears back and coming at Sampson. Run him off a couple screens.
Yeah, on the baseline, you know, a lot of shooters like to roam the baseline, and there's Sampson. He just pulls up. That's the only offensive looks he's had in the second half are the pull-up, do-it-yourself type shots. And that's he can make those shots, but on a night like this, wow, Malik Newman in the lane. He's going to interrupt me in mid-sentence as he glides. Puts that off the glass. That's just good touch. That would be for Newman now.
Malik Newman out here tonight. I'm not sure we have any above the rim fans out there, but he's playing a lot like Shep in that last tournament in the park. All he needs is the thermal and the long pants.
Above the rim reference. Antoine into the front court. Running out on Madison Prep. They trail by 23. Not the way you wanted to see the night come to a close game, but nonetheless, you're seeing some good ball. I mean, Malik Newman playing as well as anyone right now. Some say he's the number 1, but those are the minority people. Most say that he's in the 2, 3, or 4 range. There from Demarius Antoine, a junior for Madison Prep. Both of these teams are trouble next year. They both a bunch of juniors and sophomores that get playing time. Newman from the volleyball spike line comes up empty. Lob in the front court. Sampson goes reverse. Puts a little funk one. He needed that. Maybe that'll get him going. Oh, to be athletic like that. That's a feeling I've never felt. Down the lane, floater, and that is good. Tell you, he has been impressive. That's on. He has really come alive. He had a quick 10. He's got 12 in the second half, 12 in the first. Give him 24 for the game.
We talked earlier, this game really had a feel of that Velma Jackson-Haywood game. Two very good teams.
That's right.
Neither one a slouch, but you really just see one slowly but surely inching away, and it was Callaway. As soon as they started that second half, it was kind of like, you know what, we could have extended this lead in the first. We didn't, but we're going to do that immediately. And that is really what they were able to do at the start of that third quarter.
And you're right, you look up, you could feel it kind of getting out of hand, but you thought maybe it's a 8-10 point game. You look up, it's 22, 21 at the moment. Sampson at the line can cut into that. First is good.
And the thing about it is, if I'm Madison Prep and I really see Callaway, you know, off to the races there at the start of that third quarter, obviously I'm going to try to, you know, combat that. But if they're going to take off, they're going to take off with me making sure Brandon Sampson has a say about it. And he's going to have a lot of touches and a lot of shots around that. And I really didn't think that there was a sense of urgency as far as getting him involved as soon as they needed to there in that third quarter.
Newman, just a catch, turnaround, very difficult fadeaway, comes up no good. But look at him chase down the rebound. Looking for the next play. Newman in front of us, kicks it to the corner. There goes Day baseline. Ooh, a little reverse there. Draw some oohs and ahs there. Gets it back, spins in the lane, lost control. Chin somewhere in there. The line for 2, if they're going to call that a shooting foul. They will. Fouls on Delvin Spahn. Day cashes in the first. It's the Lighthouse Thanksgiving Classic on the SUVTV.com. Check out SUVTV.com. They've got all kinds of marketing opportunities, special events. I mean, they've done it all. They've done a Ludacris versus Lil Wayne basketball tournament in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia for charity. It was an incredible event. You can check highlights out from that. And then they also do the special project variety. Just look them up.
And great being a part of events like this, man. It's just really fun. You know, this Lighthouse Classic atmosphere is second to none.
And I guess they're nice people too. I guess they've been kind of fun to work with today. I'll give them that. No, it's been awesome. It's been an absolute joy and a really fun event. How about that pass through the legs of a defender? The defender jumped and they just snuck it through the legs. Somerville will finish with 2. Lob at the rim. Sampson can't get there. That would have brought the house down, what's left of the house, as many people are hitting the exits looking at the scoreboard. But I don't think that's a wise decision. When you like this, you might see something that you really wish you would have seen.
Maybe they're trying to beat that Corinth traffic.
Is this the Miami Heat fan? Corinth, look out, lob at the rim. Wow! One-handed throwdown. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Demenci the crowd. Delvin Spahn back the other way, puts it in for 2. A leaper, Demencio Vaughn. To do that one-handed is that's some hand-eye coordination. And you see Newman on the bench along with his fellow starters. That was a substitution timeout. Here comes Sampson out of the game, and that will do it. Everybody who is sitting in their seats is getting up and heading to the exit. Be a 28-point advantage for Callaway over Madison Prep. They have defended the Mississippi turf well. In the lane, a floater with the left hand, no good, but put up and in. That's number 35, not on my roster. He gets a bucket. 1:40 to play. It's the lead now 30. Turnover for Madison Prep from Jackson, Mississippi the other way. Somerville, short pass. In the lane, look out, big fella, 32. Again, our roster. These are players that I don't know if they're on a different roster or a different squad or wearing different numbers, but they weren't expected to play tonight, I don't believe. And the clock froze at 1:05 momentarily, but now we're rolling again. 91-50 score with a minute to play. A bump, falling out of bounds. Referees have effectively swallowed their whistles down the stretch. They have just tucked those away for the night.
That was definitely what that last play said. All right. Ball player kind of looked up like, are you guys serious? And the rest body language kind of said, Chief.
Yeah.
It's
91-59.
Yeah. 9-12.
There we go. A turnaround up and in off the glass. Number 35, he's got a quick 4 points. We don't have his name. 30 seconds to play. Trying to figure out the final score at this point. Floater is good. That is Delvin Spann. He ends up with 7 points on the night. 17 seconds to play. Into the front court. Bounce pass. An easy 2 for yet another unnamed player. 3 on the wing. That'll be the last shot attempt. It's good. Jeff Jones Jr. gets in the scorebooks. Your final score, 95-64. That is the conclusion of game number 7 from 1. It's the Lighthouse Classic. Will have your player of the game. There's really 2 choices here. You've got Malik Newman and Demencio Vaughn, both with an impressive night scoring, as Callaway rolls for Madison Prep. We'll get you to a couple of the replays here. Malik Newman just gliding to the saw that just as much as we saw the outside shot from Newman. He was effective penetrating, slashing, and getting to the hole. And they have given player of the game honors to Malik Newman. Well deserved. I've got him with 32 points. He might have had a few more than that. That's an unofficial number of 32, but an impressive showing nonetheless. Hey, we've got a full day tomorrow. 7 more games. More teams coming in town. It's the Thanksgiving Classic from Corinth, Mississippi, and Corinth High School, home of the Warriors. We'll kick it off at 11 a.m. tomorrow with Biggersville and Adamsville. Don't miss it. Right back on the SUVTV.com.